So I'm Todd Horne. I'm Vice President of Business Development here at Clayton Construction Company. I've been here 9 years and excited to be running for Mayor Spartanburg.
Okay, so question number 1. Some of the latest downtown projects underway and others recently announced are helping expand downtown's vibrant footprint. In addition to these, how should the city go about encouraging infill development of abandoned or vacant sites? For example, some of the sites around the new AC Hotel or even between downtown and Drayton Mills.
Well, so there's been a lot of momentum in downtown Spartanburg over the last several years, and we have seen a ton of growth. There's no doubt about that. But the key is that we have to continue to build our tax base. 35% of the land downtown is non-taxable. And so the only way to build a tax base is to build up. We can't build out. So we need to make sure that we're recruiting business. Now, we've had several families within this community that have invested a lot of money in this community over time, and we're very thankful for what they've done. But we have to continue to drive outside investment, and we need to have a proactive mayor who's going to go out and recruit developers, commercial real estate people, white-collar office jobs to downtown Spartanburg. And in the construction business, I have experience to do that. During my time at the Chamber, I helped recruit thousands of businesses under my leadership, and I'm ready to do that as mayor.
Okay. Question number 2. Like many growing cities, Spartanburg is seeing a shortage of affordable housing for its residents. More than 1/3 of city homeowners and more than half of city renters are spending over 30% of their annual income on housing. Despite the recent boom in residential construction in the city, the cost of these hundreds of new units will be beyond financial reach for many people. What strategies will you explore to help people, especially those living on lower incomes, afford to live in the city?
So over the last 10 months, I've had the opportunity to meet thousands of people by knocking on doors. And one thing I've noticed is, regardless of what part of Spartanburg, what part of the city you're in, whether it's north, south, east, or west, there's different needs. And affordable housing is certainly important to some parts of this city. And we have to make sure that, again, we have a proactive mayor. I have relationships with many developers across the southeast. And the Spartanburg Housing Authority and the city have done a wonderful job of providing some type of affordable housing for the city of Spartanburg. But again, you have to have and recruit outside people to help you make sure that there's affordable housing options for people, whether they're underserved and in poverty, or whether they're a new graduated college student. We have to make sure that we have opportunities for those folks to live within the city as well when they graduate. So you have to be intentional. You need to make sure that you are, again, proactive about going out and recruiting the type of developers that we need to make sure we have the affordable housing. Specifically over in the Highland area, south side of Spartanburg, those are areas I've heard a lot about affordable housing, and we need to focus our efforts there. And then there's obviously a lot of work taking place right now in the north side to make sure that there's affordable housing options over there. So it's something you have to be intentional about. It's something that we need to make sure that we continue to have diversity within our city, because I strongly believe that our diversity is our strength, and we need to make sure we have a diversity of housing options as well within our city.
Okay. Question 3. City leaders have continued to increase efforts on diversifying businesses in the city. How can the mayor assist with the city's recruitment and retention of more minority and women-owned businesses?
We have a big shortage of minority and women-owned businesses in Spartanburg, and this is something that I'm excited about the opportunity to take. Recently, I went on a trip to Raleigh-Durham, and we went to a place called American Underground, and there was a co-work space that helped start up businesses, and 48% of the businesses that graduated from the American Underground were minority or women-owned businesses. And over a 3-year period, they created 2,000 jobs. That's the type of energy we need right here in Spartanburg. That's the type of intentional efforts we need to make sure that we're growing businesses in downtown. I'm in the construction business. We do business with people like GHS, BMW, Michelin. These companies require us to do a certain percentage of our business with minority and women-owned businesses, and we have a tough time finding them. And so in the construction business, there's opportunity. There's opportunity on Main Street with retail. There's programs like over in the north side, the Start Me program that's helping with specific businesses to people who live, work, and worship in the north side of Spartanburg, helping them and providing mentors for those folks, providing funding for those folks to help start businesses. So we have to be intentional and make sure that we're working hard to keep, recruit, and maintain minority and women-owned businesses.
And question number 4. City Council's recent vote to build an indoor pool at the future Dr. T.K. Gregg Community Center will require the city to put more financial resources toward the project than initially anticipated, and potentially will delay other community development needs in the city. City staff has noted that for the city to maintain and operate the indoor pool, significant funding could be pulled from the Parks and Recreation budget. If so, how do you propose the city address its list of Parks and Rec needs?
First of all, let me say that the mayor in January voted against an indoor pool at the TK Gregg Center. A week before the runoff, he decided to vote for an indoor pool at the TK Gregg Center. So he changed his vote a week before the runoff, which is disappointing. The second thing I'll say is I am for an indoor pool at TK Gregg. It's the way that the operating cost is being paid for that I'm against. I believe that, again, if you had a proactive mayor, a mayor who's going out to help raise the private funding that needs to help offset this operating cost, that would be beneficial to the city, and it would help pull some of that weight that's about to be put on them from this vote on Monday night. And I'm a strong believer that if you have a proactive mayor, the proactive mayor is going out to private entities like Spartanburg Regional, you know, whatever, QS1, whatever private groups are in town, and you're helping offset that cost by going out and proactively raising the private funds. The city cannot afford it in its current state in the way they voted for that on Monday night. And I believe that Ed Memmott has worked hard to go raise that funding, but I believe that the mayor should be there right beside him, and I believe that the mayor should be out proactively. And it's been 10 months since the first vote happened, and that has given Ed and other members of council and the mayor plenty of time to go out and raise that funding. And now there's going to be a strain on the city's budget and the Parks and Rec budget because of that vote a week before the runoff.